I don't really find myself talking a lot about present day modern films. I usually stick to what I know best about. But in this case, I have to make an exception. Why? Because it's Gareth Evans. Gareth Evans is one of the best action directors working today. This guy is a fucking gem. He's worked with a lot of Indonesian actors and a lot of different things with the country itself, especially with his films in general, like Maranto, The Raid, and The Raid 2 mainly. Postal was a bit of a change of scenery. Safe Haven, if not one of the best short horror films I've ever witnessed, that was featured in VHS 2 that I have absolute nothing but praise over, because that short film that he did was nothing more but intense. I would love to see Gareth Evans do more horror films. But in this case, we go back to what he does best, and that is action. The guy knows how to take a camera, and he knows how to add that vibration, the intensity. Like, whenever it leads up to a scene, he'll start adding that shaky cam properly done right. Not where it's just like fucking just badgering like crazy like that right there, but it's where he actually adds the intensity and the vibration to where you feel the hard-hitting effects of whatever's going on in said action scene. Especially when he takes someone like Tom Hardy, who is an outstanding fucking actor, who I'm a big fan of. He knows how to take the intensity that someone like Tom Hardy can do and just add that. He'll literally make that ability of just fucking violence and make you feel it when you're watching said film, gaining you that experience. But Havoc is definitely one of those modern day films to where you got yourself fucking action galore. Now, the story itself is very, very generic, where a drug deal goes wrong, cop has to fight the crooks and save a political figure's son. You know, good guy has to fight the bad guy. Power, lies, corruptions, or excuse me, power, corruption, and lies for anybody who is a New Order fan after Joy Division. I think you'll get my little reference there, but seriously though, power, corruption, lies, conspiracies, drugs, all in full that take a big impact on the city itself. It's up to Patrick Walker, Tom Hardy, and Ellie, who is a brand new police recruit, who is played by Jessie May Lee. Now, to me, I'm going to say she is definitely one of the weakest characters in the movies, where she is just a stereotypical side cop character that I wasn't necessarily too fond of, especially her dialogue that she had. It was mainly Tom Hardy who was the biggest badass of the entire film, where if you ever watch a particular action film or the stereotype where whether how good or bad it is, you'll watch an action film for said name who's in the picture. I can't necessarily say that indication because this film is actually pretty fucking awesome, even though that there is quite a bit of flaws that I have with it that I will get right off my chest talking about. I already said that Ellie is, to me, if not the weakest character for me. One of my other problems is that through at least, I'll say, not a good portion, but at least within the beginning aspect, it was stereotype storytelling where it's just generic story where it is the fact where it's being milked a lot. It's okay to milk an action film where if you want to start off where it's like the opening scene, no action or anything, where you're meeting your characters, what they're going to be dealing with, where it's going to be diving into the main story, where you'll meet the good guy, you'll meet the bad guy, or whatever said crew that's going on. Sure, that was implied in this film, but the thing is that it was just milked way too long. Now, I always give Gareth Evans credit where he knows how to fucking milk it with his action movies. He did it with both Raid movies. He did it with Maranto. He did it with those movies where he was able to milk it. Safe Haven a little bit, he was able to milk it just a little bit. Even though that wasn't action, it was horror, but still. He knows how to milk it properly and knows how to deliver that fucking action in a specific scene, and he was able to do it, but I feel like that this film was milked a little bit way too long than it should have. Like, there was a lot of story going on, and you got yourself your development where some action and beginning aspects were coming along, but it just had to take one specific scene in a specific place with a specific set of characters to where it just goes from a fucking 1 to 100 just like that. And Gareth Evans was able to do that. It took a little while, but once it took place in a bar, and a specific group of characters come in, specifically also a woman, right there was where the film just became absolutely incredible, and it was just hard-hitting action galore, and it was awesome. A bar, cabin, streets, interrogations, you name it. Gareth Evans was able to deliver once again with all the fucking action, where you just got a whole bunch of crazy shit going on, where it's either a fist fight or a knife or guns or taking planks or fucking thumbtacks, 2x4s, or fucking pill bottles or glass bottles, you name it, a goddamn condom, something that Gareth Evans was able to imply with said action scenes going on, or whatever fucking weapons that Tom Hardy was able to imply, use for his advantage to take out everybody. Amazing stuff. Just amazing. Man, I don't know what else to really say in terms of going on about this fucking movie, except it's just, despite the beginning elements leading into where it unfolds more and more into the truth of all the corruptions and lies and bullshit that's happening, the suspense and fucking just thrills you get from watching this movie is just outstanding. I once again give my applause to Gareth Evans for delivering such outstanding action. And Tom Hardy, to me, is one of, if not the best guys to get the job done for not only playing, you can say, a generic character, but use it to his advantage to where, sure, for me, the character itself, like Patrick Walker, to me, is like a very stereotypical type of a name for any police cop out there in a film. But the thing is that he was able to take the name, and sure, the look is one thing, but he was able to take it and turn it into a complete badass as the film progressed later on. And Tom Hardy, for someone who I can buy into him as an actor and turn a generic role into someone more serious, Tom Hardy's one of those guys to where he knows what to do. So, Havoc is one of those movies where, sure, I got quite a bit of flaws with it, but it is, to me, one of those films where you can just watch and have a fun time with. Absolutely just great fun. 3.75 out of 5 is what I gave Havoc. Absolute fun movie. Something that was worth talking about. Not necessarily one of my favorite Gareth Evans films, because, with, like I said, all the ones I've already previously mentioned, great stuff. But this is definitely one of those films to where I can definitely watch and have fun with on my own free time and just lay in bed, watch, and just be entertained before I go to sleep. So, folks, that's going to do it for my little talk on Havoc. Let me know down below your thoughts about this movie. And as always, my friends and family and whomever it is that's watching this, mainly friends and all these who are subscribed to the page, let me know down below your thoughts about Havoc, and ciao for now. Oh, and by the way, the title of the film sure as hell lives up to the name. Ciao for now.